Hello, beautiful people of the world. Welcome to the Happy Conversation Idea Show, where you can witness thoughts, ideas, and stories of the happiest people. So Chris Ryan is an author, Forbes contributor, multimillionaire real estate investor, an advisor, and a philanthropist. As a seasoned real estate advisor for over 17 years, Chris Ryan is recognized as one of the North America's industry's leader in all the facets of real estate. Chris is now focusing on building a legacy that aims to make this world a happier, healthier place from an environmental and humanitarian standpoint.
Thank you again. Happy for having me on your show. Much appreciated, sir. Going back, I mean, where it all started, when I was young, I was into businesses. I didn't really want to work for other people. I found ways to get in, start little businesses, and I had all these little tiny businesses. So one of my first businesses was selling. It wasn't the best thing to sell. It was candy and pop, and I would sell it at school. And then after hours, I would set up a little stand outside of our family property, and I would sell pop and candy. And my clients were mainly kids. And I was, I think, around, oh my gosh, probably about 9-10 years old. And where we lived at the time, there wasn't a really quick like corner store or something like that. So I had a corner on the market. So it's all about location with businesses. And so we had a really good location, and I would sell out, almost every day. I would sell all my stuff, and I'd make, around 70-80% profit. So, if I bought $100 worth of stuff, I'd, turn that into, 7-8 times that, right? So yeah, it was a really good business, and it was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. So one of my first lessons there was somebody tried to say, I'll pay you back later. And so these teenagers came up in a car, and they go, yeah, we want pop. You got your candy. Yeah, sounds good. He goes, yeah, give me this, give me that. And then they drove off with everything. They said, we'll be right back. And they never gave it back. So what I did though, was I took their license plate down. I called the police, and the police said it was a stolen car with stolen license plate. Thank you for letting us know where they are. We'll send out a police car, and hopefully we can find them. They found them, and they caught them. And so don't steal kids. Don't steal candy from kids. It will come back to you. Yeah. And so where that went is I just kept on selling other things as I got older. And it basically ended up into, I want to sell real estate. I wanted to make more money. When I was, in my early 20s, I had, I'd kind of a few things on my mind at that age. I wanted, to be physically healthy looking. That's what I thought physical health was just, six pack and ripped and all that stuff. I wanted to make lots of money, and I wanted to have, really good looking girlfriends. So I was chasing kind of a rock style lifestyle, and I go, wow, what is the easiest way to do this? This is to make money, because all my mentors, good and bad, that's what they portrayed success. When you're a 19, 18, 20-year-old, boy/man, that's what you think is cool. That's what you think life is all about. And so I got into real estate, and, within my first year, started making some good money. Second year was really good. Third year was even better. And basically from the money I made, I put back into real estate. I even made more money from the actual real estate that I bought, because it went up so much. And in my mid to late 20s, I was in my 25, 26, basically had $1 million plus in real estate assets, and basically grew that from nothing. So it was really cool. But at the same time I was doing that, I was at my peak party time. I started just partying. I started traveling more. I started buying more expensive things, because I felt this emptiness, kind of this like inside of me. And the only way that I thought to cure it was to buy something, go out with a new girlfriend, because it was my old girlfriend that was the problem, not me, of course. No, of course, now that I know that was me. But I basically would buy a new vehicle, then I would have it for about a month. I would get tired of it. I'd have to buy another one. I'd go traveling somewhere, and it was good while I was traveling, but as soon as I got back home, I felt empty. And so I was always trying to fill this like this hole that I had, and I didn't even realize I had a hole. And basically what ended up happening was I was starting to go towards the hole, because I started leveraging my properties. I got a second mortgage. I used that money for the lifestyle stuff. I stopped working as hard, and basically right before, in my later 20s, I came to this point. I go, why did I do this? Why did I self-sabotage myself? Why did I leverage all my stuff and basically buy all this stuff that wasn't meaningful? And there was at the time I was at a very, very low in my life, and my mom called me up and she goes, I want to let you know there's a financial mastery, and it's going on, and I'd really like you to go and check it out. And I was just thinking financial mastery. I go, I need money because I'm in a hole. I want to fix this stuff, and I'm sure I'll go. So my mom, got me into there, and I went and I thought it was all about making money, and I found out it was all about actual wealth, like wealth mastery. It was about, in order to be really wealthy, we have to have wealth in all areas of life. So physically, financially, mentally, spiritually, relationally, and then last part is legacy, giving back. Because once you have all that stuff, there's just one more thing, that's just giving it back and paying it forward. So I then turned my focus. I actually did a hiatus on my real estate at the time, because I stopped, like, when I was in there, it was me. It wasn't about we. It wasn't about building a team. It wasn't about giving back and serving. It was about how much money can Chris make. That's how I started my first part of my career off, as a young, dumb boy. And when I started doing the work, I really found out, why I was doing what I was doing. I didn't have real relationships. Physical health was more like than just the exterior look of yourself. It was about inside, like, what is your blood cell, like what is like how your body is operating. And then the mental side, I didn't even know about the mental side. I got the raw like energy stuff, but I didn't really get, if you don't master the mind, it's going to master you. And so I really learned about the mind mastery. And so I started really diving into deep with all that stuff. And basically, I almost made a pivot just to start serving people, because I started life coaching some of my friends and some of these business owners that I knew, and they were getting really good results. And I go, wow, this is really working. I have, paid customers going in, but I knew where this would be going. It would be, at the time, would be to be a big public speaker. And that means traveling around and going around the circuits and doing all that stuff. And I really didn't want to do that. I had other people that I knew, some of my mentors that I knew, my own mom even was a successful business lady, and she had to travel lots. And I knew, like, one day I wanted to have kids, and I didn't want to be the guy traveling that didn't really know their kids. I wanted to see my kids every day, as much as possible. And so I figured I looked at my situation. How do I serve, give back, and still do real estate, to, basically, pay for everything that I'm doing, how I want to give back and everything. So I decided to go back into real estate, take everything I learned into our real estate business, and then hire and partner with people that are like-minded, that want to do the same type of work, pour into them. And then what I want to do is, my plan was, once I make X amount of dollars, I'm going to open up a retreat, and that's where I'm going to be able to do stuff. And the retreat is going to be in Maui, where I'm living now. Wow. And basically bring those speakers in that I want to have there, invite all the people there, and then do online stuff as well. So now that the online thing is an online thing, like 10, 15 years ago, this market wasn't really here. Now I can stay and be here and not have to do anything. So now I'm basically coming out of the cocoon, and I'm going to be able to give back and serve to so many more people. And I'm very excited about it. The other thing that we're doing is we're doing a real estate fund, because I made millions myself buying and selling real estate. Now I want to, help other people do the same and ride, on each other's coattails, and just work with a lot of people doing that. So so let's get into it.
That's a profound, and that's a really thanks for sharing your early childhood story and struggles and your beginning in your career and all. I would like to how to become a successful real estate agent or a broker.
All right. So what I did in my first part of the career, there's a lot of realtors that will, they can show that they're successful. They'll, drive a, whatever expensive, luxury vehicle. So that's what sometimes people think real estate's all about. Looking the part. you know, yes, you know, you've got to present yourself well for whatever location you're in. So in Vancouver, you know, presentation is important. You don't want to be showing up with, you know, jogging pants on and the t-shirt. And even if it's a friend or family member, it's kind of good. It's still good to look professional. Now in Hawaii, if you're an agent listening from Hawaii or any other warm place, Florida, even, you know what, Florida, I would have to say they have a little bit more style and a little more, you know, suit thing going on. They're on the East Coast, a lot of ex-New Yorkers there. So I would say, you know, you're probably still rolling in with suits there, but most of the tropical places, you know, collared shirt, whatever, you know, aloha prints, things like that. You know, you just got to see what other people are, how they're presenting themselves, like the people that are doing or that are already very successful. Now, if you're in a rural area and all your customers are, you know, lumberjacks and miners or something, and you might be wanting to roll out in plaid and have a big bushy beard, and that might be your thing because you're going to be very relatable to them. But in the business, in the cities, you know, you want to look the part, but the part of that's just the superficial part. I would say anybody that's really getting into it to be successful, in whether you want to be a realtor or the best surgeon or the best car salesman or the best counselor, find out the best people in the industry and just watch what they're doing. Watch with them. Success leaves clues, and then mimic them. So you find somebody to follow. You look for their clues, you mimic them, then you produce it. Like you become the production. You want to be you though. Don't get me wrong. You want to be you. You can't fake something, but you can see how they operate and then see how you can operate like that. You know, there can be slight variations and things like that. You know, and some people, if they're, you know, they're devout Christian or Muslim or, you know, whatever religion, and that's how they live their life, then be that. You know, and if you want, and go to the people that you're already with. Also, we're all spending money every day, you know, whether it's a hairdresser, whether it's your mechanic, whether it's your dentist, whether it's the person that makes your suits, wherever your money is going, make them, you know, you're basically an affiliate. Okay. So somebody that's going to help market you, you know, you're going to them. And if they're not willing to do that, go spend your money somewhere else. Because your money should be working for you, and when you're paying somebody and helping them, and you're bringing referrals to them, they should be doing the same thing back to you.
Lovely. Well, that's a great advice on that too. My next question is, what are the fundamental steps for the first-time home or a condo buyers?
All right. So this one, this is not an easy, fast, quick question. I wish I could just be like, here, just do this, but. So I'm going to give you I'm going to just tell you everything that I'm not going to put down realtors, but a lot of realtors are always thinking about selling something. I don't. So, and all these realtors listening, you can do the same. I've told a lot of my clients, don't sell right now. It's not a good time. Hey, have you thought about, you know, you got nothing downstairs going on in your basement. Why don't you turn it into a suite or and create some more income there? So what I would say to anybody new looking, if you're unsure about an area, first figure out the area you want to live in. Go rent there. Rent for 6 months. You know, see if you like the place, because you might find out it's too busy or it's not busy enough. There's nobody here. It's just like squirrels and raccoons. And so, you know, go rent the place, see if you like it. And you know what? I'll say one other thing. Don't always think the place that you when you're buying real estate, you don't necessarily have to own the house you live in. You know, when you actually buy revenue generating properties, so that's what I'm, you know, apartment buildings, things like that. When you buy things, if you can't afford an apartment building and you're just getting into it, you could find something that has a good rental return that pays the mortgage, pays the condominium fees, strata fees, and pays property tax, insurance, all the little things, and leaves you an extra $1,000 or $2,000, you're on the right track, because you take that $1,000 or $2,000, then you rent in different areas that you want, and you might want to change it up a little bit. So you don't necessarily have to be the place that you buy doesn't necessarily have to be the place you live in, number one. And number two, you want to see how much you can rent that property for if you go down the road of the investor, the real estate investor. And and you want to look at what the cash flow is. So you take all the expenses out. After you got your mortgage, all those expenses that we're talking about. You have how much you can rent it out, and how much does that leave you? That's going to leave you a cap rate, and that's basically your return on your money. So you really want to look at that if you're going down the investment road. So and rent before you buy if you really want to live and buy, own the own home you're in.
That's a great advice, Chris. Thanks for sharing that, your practical advice on that. You've been in this industry for over decades probably, and I hope all the audience will get a hint on that too. Now,
I just wanted to say add one thing to that, and where this is going to come in, you're telling me not to sell them a house if they want to sell. Yeah, because this is not a one-year game. The realtors that just go, they're constantly hunting, they run out of energy, they die. This is a farming, planting seeds, nurturing those seeds, and having a business for several decades. If you want to be around for a long time and really make a lot of money, money is it's basically what is left after you do something really well. It's like the fruit of the harvest. So if you just take care of all these, you can think of them, as seeds, plants. Take care of your garden, take care of your, all those people. They're going to pour back to you tenfold. And the people that I'm so glad you didn't tell me to buy. The market actually went down. We're able to buy later, and all these things. They're going to tell your story, what you did, to everybody else they know, and you're going to get so much more business.
Lovely. Thanks for answering that. What a brilliant answer. Well, next, what type of properties one should not buy?
All right. So another good question. These are good questions. I like it. All right. So properties not to buy. I don't like properties by power lines. Okay. Whether you don't believe in the science or you say the science is BS and tinfoil hat stuff. Properties by property power lines are not good. So those ones I don't like. Now, pre-sales to me is almost, it's not the same as investing on the stock market, but you're basically investing in a future. It's almost like an option. You are technically, you're committed to buying this when it's done. If the market goes down and you're down $500,000, you have to complete. A lot of these people do walk away and they do get sued, and there's a lot of funny things, and you can make a lot of money from it. So those ones, if you are doing a pre-sale, really know that, you might have to hold on to this property for 10 years if you want to get in and out of it. It's one of those ones that I'm, on the fence, and it has to be a really good developer, it has to be a really good area. There has to be a major demand for the area. You don't want to be, 50 towers all going up at the same time, and all of a sudden the market's flooded, and there's not enough buyers to meet the demand. So those are the ones I would just move with caution. Okay. Other ones really quickly. Leaseholds, they're not all bad, but they're not all good. So do your homework if it's a leasehold. Look at the past leaseholds, because leaseholds only last for so long, and they're usually 99 years, and you could be buying it at 20 years left, and they're only probably most likely go down. But anyways,
That's great. Thanks for valuable advice on that. So next question is, what are the advantage and disadvantage of being a real estate agent or a broker?
All right. So real estate broker, I've heard some of them call it herding cats. And so the cat, herding dogs is easy, herding cats is not. Cats have their own personality. They're like, you can't tell me nothing, right? So you have to have resilience. You have to have a good leadership if you want to be a broker. You also have to really want to help. And it's probably the most underpaid job in the business. I would not want to be a broker. I don't mind being a team leader, but being a broker and having to be being able to get a hold of 24 hours a day almost. I mean, maybe when you're not sleeping, obviously, but when you wake up between 8 o'clock and probably 10 o'clock at night, if somebody might be calling you with an emergency, they might need your help. And so it's a lot of work. It's very underpaid. And I would strongly, unless you come from a teaching background and you're a teacher, or you love to be a teacher, and then that's where I would say the teachers, the ones that really, really like that stuff, and they don't want to do the sales, be a broker. If you want to be a sales agent and sell stuff with an infinite amount of money you can make, there's no ceiling on it, be a sales agent.
That's great. That's a great advice. So one who he or she has a leadership skill and background and all that can be very suitable. Great. Next, how can an overseas investors can invest in Canada or US properties? You've been a lot of luxury lifestyle into industries, and most of the time people would like to invest. So what advice would you have for the overseas investors? to invest
Overseas
in Canada?
investors. Okay, so yeah, I mean, there's different programs, and you want to talk to an immigration lawyer. If you're looking for citizenship, there's different programs where if you buy a business and it's a certain price tag, and it creates jobs and things, you can streamline and get into Canada faster. Or if you're in the States, every country has something like that. So if you're looking for citizenship, that's one thing, is look at a business. Now, if you're looking just to invest and you're not wanting citizenship, you want to have something that's easy to manage. You do want something that doesn't have a lot of high turnover. You want something simple, easy, clean, and something that can be managed quite easily by somebody. So okay. I would go longer term, leases. Yeah. So I go longer term leases, and so that'd be in commercial, that are top tier renters. So like banks usually don't move around too much. Not yet anyways. And then as far as houses go, lock them into long-term contracts. The Airbnb game, it's one of those ones that it does take a lot of wear and tear. There is a lot of things that could happen. Rules are always changing. You might get a little bit of higher cap rate, but there's a lot more phone calls and a lot more headaches. Having a really good renter in there, that's locked in for a couple of years, peace of mind. That's what I would do.
Lovely. That's a great advice on that. Well, next, what advice can you give to invest in the real estate stocks?
In stocks, yeah. So, I mean, you want to work with people. Okay, so whether you're investing in whatever stock, whether it's tech, whether it's real estate, whether it's crypto, whatever it is, you're not just investing in what the stock has done. Okay, I always would say, look at the driver, not just the vehicle. Look at the racetrack. Look at everything. Okay, because you know what? Anybody can look like a rock star right off the beginning. And if this person's never had success before, and or maybe very young or very immature, and you don't know who the CEO is, and maybe find out he's got a drug problem, or maybe he's on his 15th wife, and you could just see that, like, you look at his other past companies and they all look like winners right out of the gate, but then they all crumbled. That's what you want to look at. Who's the jockey? Who's driving the car? And then you want to look at the car. What's under the hood? Is this a Ferrari engine? Are we only going to get 10 laps and it's going to blow up? Or is this is this a Tesla? It's going to run for a long time, and you just got to make sure there's lots of electricity going to it. So really dissect whoever you're going to invest in. And real estate funds. So REITs. REITs are one of the things that you can invest in. And funds like a MIC, and those are run by mortgage companies. So those are two vehicles. And then what I like to do is JVs, and so joint ventures, and then also limited partnerships, and where you have a few people you work together. And so that's kind of our what we're doing now. And in the very soon future, we are going to be running our own REIT. So, but for now, we're just doing limited partnerships and joint ventures. And you want to work with people you trust. So And also, family is not always the best, and not that you don't trust them, but if one person wants to keep the property and the other person wants to sell the property, and you guys have different views on things, it could wreck the family, and stuff. And the only other one thing I was going to say is that it's like a relationship. It's like, when you're investing your money, it's like you're getting married, you're buying into something. You want to make sure they have a good track record, and really do your due diligence when you check them out, and that they do. And those are the main points.
Oh, that's a great advice. Like, who's the driver, who's the CEO of the company, and what's the track record. And one should do the due diligence before investing in that. It's a lot of hard, smart work money people have. That's a really great advice.
Yeah.
Now, you've been into personal development too. So I will ask why someone should focus on personal development. How does it help?
Yeah. So if you don't, like, I owe everything and all my successes in my life, from my wife to, what I've made and earned, my two beautiful children, to living in paradise, everything I owe to personal development. I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at and have earned and attracted the woman of my dreams, and have everything that I've ever wanted in my life if I didn't do that work. And the other thing too is that we're like a thermostat, right? So you can make money, anybody can make money. Keeping money and growing money is another thing. And so if you don't work on yourself, we all have this thermostat. So Bob Proctor is one of the first guys I heard talking about this, many years ago. And there's a few other people that talk about it too. So if you haven't heard about this, it's like, if I'm say an 88 degreeer, or sorry, I'll do it in Celsius too. If I'm a 30 Celsius or a 20, I'll say 25 Celsius, temperature, nice warm temperature, good temperature. And I start cranking on, my business. It starts growing and start making all this money, and it goes up to 30. And I haven't worked on my internal game. I haven't mastered my mind, and I have no spiritual game, and I have no relationship wealth. It's going to go back down to 25 degrees. That's what happens. So you really have to work on this part first. Get it up to a 30 or 32, wherever you want it to go. And even if you're 25, once you hit that 32, you're going to be able to maintain it, and it's going to stay there. And then you can go, I want to go 35, or I want to go, 100 degrees, so yeah.
Lovely. Well, that's a great advice on a personal development. Great.
Yeah. One last thing. Warren Buffett said it. Everybody knows who Warren Buffett is. The best investment in life is actually investing in yourself. And every dollar I put into myself, I made back, forget 10x, call it 100x.
Oh, wow. That's the great advice. Yeah, no doubt. Warren Buffett is one of the intelligent person of the world, and being successful with his intelligence and hard and smart work. That's great. Now, we know that you're an author too. Please tell us about your book called The Passion Hunt.
Passion Hunt. Yeah. Yes. So, man, this one's been sitting on the shelf for so long. I wrote this when I told you I did my hiatus and I did all that work way back then. I did the book, and I was going to go down that route, and I go, you know what, until I'm ready, until I'm, I moved back to Hawaii and I really set everything up, and I have a place to take people and help people and everything like that. I didn't want to release it until then. So we're basically at that time now. So now it's getting exciting, and I'm talking to, a new publisher, and just like, we're going to get it ready. The book's done. Basically, man, if you got to find your passion, and whether you're doing it for a business standpoint or you're just doing it for yourself, it's so important to be passionate. Passionate is it would be the quickest thing to call it. Like, if there was a silver bullet, that would be it. That would, or magic bullet or whatever, that would be it. That would be it. That's the key. If you can have passion, everybody buys energy. Energy is what makes the best salespeople, makes the best athletes, makes the best, entrepreneurs. And if you don't have energy, you're dead, you're quiet, and you're just not moving through life. Like, why would you want to invest with that person? Why would you want to work with that person? I want to meet somebody, and I want them to bring me up, or at least keep me on the same, energy level. I don't want to feel like I'm getting sucked. Like, nobody needs an extra energy vampire out there. So, find your passion, and it really comes down to doing that. And then it ties it into purpose, and purpose, success without fulfillment and finding your purpose is the biggest failure.
Wow. What a great
biggest failure. You make all the money in the world and you're not happy because you have no fulfillment, and you don't feel like you've done anything. You're going to go back to that, what Chris did, like, when he was in his early 20s, and, try to buy himself happiness. It doesn't work. Trust me, I tried. I tried.
That's a great advice. Yeah. I know, Chris, you came to one of my seminars and all, and you were one of the greatest personality, and I was really happy and lucky to have you in my seminars. And then this is how it started, and I've become a very great fan of your luxury lifestyle, real estate, the things you have helped hundreds and thousands of people. So that's great. Okay, so we will do this next round called Make the World Happy Round. So I will appreciate your lovely answers, Sridhar. Now, the first question is, choose one. What will you buy? Gold, stock, or real estate?
Buy it all.
Now,
what I want to say about that is, if I had $1 million, I wouldn't divide it up 3 ways. No.
Okay.
I would look at it as loading up the bases before you hit that grand slam. Get somebody on first, get somebody on second, get somebody on third. And now, having a full base, it would be great. But again, splitting it up individually, 33, 33, 33, whatever one really, who cares if you know, I would say this, whatever one where you're the most curious about, the one that's like, I love this. Like, you know, you feel good about it. Like, you know, it just feels like this certainty into you. So for me, it's real estate. Real estate, most of my portfolio is in real estate. Do I have crypto? Yes. Do I have stocks? Yes. And, you know, and so I don't want to miss out on an opportunity, but I don't want to put a whole bunch of money onto one and then, you know, it's gone, you know, and half your portfolio is gone.
I agree. All right. Second.
Just one last thing is real estate, best investment. I'll just say this. Why? Is because you can make more stock, you can make more crypto, you can do all these other things and whatever, manipulate markets or create another crypto, blah, 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 blah. You know, the governments could change things, whatever. There's all these things. Government can't control how much earth there is out there. And, and at this point, they're not taking it away. So, you know, it's supply and demand, and every year there's more and more people. So,
great. That's a great advice. Next, what makes you more happier, the intelligent part of your life or the emotional part of your life?
I like that. I like it. So for me, I would say, number one, the most happiest part of my life is right here when I serve this place. So I have a nice little algorithm. It's called, and it's called Lion. So that's living inwardly, outwardly, now.
Wow, so that's a great advice.
That one is, you know, and I do a lot of leadership around lion leadership. And the lion, for example, it's not the biggest animal. It's not the smartest animal. It's not even the strongest animal. You know, you get an elephant, you could just like kill it in a second. Even those big oxes take out lions and kill, you know, stuff. So why is it the king of the jungle? Because of this lion heart.
Lion heart and attitude.
And I would say everybody out here, if you don't have a name for yourself, create a name for yourself. So my little nickname, I name myself, I call it whatever, my soul, my heart is Lionheart.
Lionheart, so, that's good.
And so, living inwardly, outwardly now, and speaking from this place. When you speak from this place, it's disconnected. It's good for formulas and science equations and mathematics. And that's when you want to use this thing. But when you want to speak and lead, you got to go from right here.
So true. Okay, that's a great answer. Thanks, Craig. Next, who is the true teacher, the failure or the success?
Well, they're both teachers, you know, but I would say the most successful people I know have failed the most.
Okay. All right. So I'll say failure, success, failure. Yeah. Okay. Next.
Failure. I mean, you can't have success without failure, and if you're successful without failure, you're playing small. I don't care how much you're worth. If you're worth $1 billion, worth 100 million, you should be worth 10x that if you haven't failed, because you haven't pushed yourself hard enough.
Lovely.
Not being stupid, but pushing yourself. And you got to be uncomfortable. If you're not uncomfortable, then you're not pushing yourself.
Great idea. Good advice. Next, is it okay to get married before buying the first home?
Oh. These questions.
You're into luxury lifestyle. You deal with a lot of couples and all. You must be having all of.
Seriously, I gotta stop. Okay, because I'm like laughing. I'm just like, this is so funny because these questions are probably things that people think about, but I never thought about this. So
well, that's why you're here in my show to make the world happy.
You know, I love random questions. Okay, so can you just okay?
So is it okay to get married before buying the first home?
Okay, I would say. It depends.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
It depends on who.
Okay, that's good.
I would say it depends on who. And I'll say this, one other answer is if it was a prearranged marriage and you didn't know if this thing was going to work or not, I would definitely have a prenup, and I would make sure if you are going to buy real estate is to have that, you know, separate, you know, whether you're a woman or a man, that's it. That's all.
Good. That's a great answer. Next. Okay, you have to choose one. Okay. Yeah. What will you choose from? Money, time, love, or sex?
Money, time, love, or sex.
You have to choose one.
Money, time, love, sex. Well, you know what? I would have to say love.
Right. Excellent.
Love. You know, love is everything. If you have all those other things, you're going to feel empty.
Next. All right. Okay. One word or a sentence which will bring more joy or love to a relationship.
What will bring
one word or a sentence which will bring more joy to a happy and lovely relationship?
They do not.
You've been a successful parent.
They do not complete me. I am complete. To complete people makes a whole relationship. not
I love it.
50-50.
Make the complete. Agree. Next, never say that specific word or a sentence when a man is angry.
If this is a significant other or person, men don't like to be told what to do.
Okay, all right.
So
All right.
if you want them to do something, do it in a way that is like I would appreciate. Like don't order them. Don't nobody likes to be ordered.
All right, great. Next, what is the largest investment you ever made?
On myself.
Okay, I love that. That's a brilliant answer. And yourself, great. Okay, what is the best idea, to rent or to buying a home?
Rent. If it's for your personal home, rent before you buy.
Okay,
Drive the car before you buy it. Test drive.
Okay, good. Next, what is more joyful, living alone in $1 million home or with a partner in a tent on the beach?
Tent on the beach, baby.
Oh, baby, I got it. I got it. How to enjoy a luxury lifestyle?
Well, again, full spectrum wealth.
Okay.
It's all about full spectrum wealth.
All
Physical,
right.
Financial, mental, spiritual, relational, and legacy. That means giving back and contributing.
Wow. What a philosophy you said. And you are into luxury lifestyle listed, and that would be more greater answer than this. I love that answer. Okay, next. What is the best advice you have ever received?
Sorry, the internet did a little.
So, what is the best advice you have ever received?
The best advice I've ever received. Listen to my gut.
Love it. Listen to your gut. Okay, next.
Listen to my gut.
Listen to your guts. Good. What is the worst advice?
Your gut's saying it, don't buy, or don't. Your gut is saying, I don't think this marriage is right. The marriage isn't right. If your gut is saying, I don't think I should buy this, don't buy. Just listen to your gut. Your gut is its own brain. It's like connect. It's just listen to your gut. Anytime I didn't listen to my gut, it was bad. It was something bad didn't happen.
Okay, next. What is the worst advice you have ever received?
Oh, I got to think about that one. Sorry.
That's okay.
I got to think about that one for a second. Money will make me happy.
Okay, all right.
Using money for happiness.
Fair enough. Okay, in business, do you believe?
But I have to say this. There's a caveat. There's a caveat to this. There's a very big caveat to this. I would rather be financially. If I was miserable, rather be financially miserable, because I could still eat well and I could still travel and try to make myself happy, or at least be in better environments. And or pay coaches and psychologists and people money to experience things and to work and have a hope for it, than be poor and broke. Poor and broke is the worst, but I'd rather be broke and miserable than poor and broke.
All right. Okay, next. In business, do you believe in risk or safety?
Well, if you want to reap the big rewards, it usually takes risk. Okay. The ones that are the least risk, leave your money in the bank, get 0.5%. Like, that sucks. Like, you could probably make money on a YouTube video burning money and making people watch it. Don't do that. That's a terrible example. I'm serious. Like, it's just like, your money has to make money. Money doesn't sleep. Money is like a soldier out there that's representing you, doesn't get sick, isn't emotional. And if something happens to you, it keeps on working.
Okay, agree. Next, what Mother Earth means to you?
Mother Earth to me means nature. I mean, whenever I'm in a lot of things are going on, I'm not connected to my heart, I have a hard time grounding. If I go into nature, and whether that's a hike or a swim in the deep dive, I do dives in the water and stuff, whatever it is, that brings me back into the harmonic flow. And we all want to be in the harmonic flow, and nature is a harmonic flow. It doesn't have to try. Everything has a purpose. It's always on point. It's always just doing what it's supposed to do. The only time it gets screwed up is when we, the humans, mess with it.
Great. Well, you are in this career now. This question related to that. What is more enjoyable than being a luxury real estate agent or a broker or investor?
Investor.
Okay. All right.
Investor. There's so many people in our career or in our business that don't invest in real estate, and I see them working well into their later ages, and they're not having fun. Okay. And I just want to say this: what is Arnold Schwarzenegger, Magic Johnson? There's a few other actors and athletes. They've all made more money in real estate than they did in their career. Wow. And most of them made more money in 5 years in real estate than they did in a 20-year career.
Wow. So, excellent. Great advice. Okay, next. Imagine if God makes you a woman for a day, what will you do more of or less of?
Oh, man.
I hope your wife will be not
angry with you. Let me think about that. What would I do more of if I was a woman?
And less of?
Well, I would listen to, if she was with the man, I would say, listen to your man. Okay. Ask him if he needs a back massage sometimes.
Oh my God. That's and what you'll do
if seriously though, for most women, and I've seen this the most, I would say do more for yourself. Okay. You know, women do so much for other people already. And it's complete opposite of what I was saying as a joke. It's that do more for yourself. Take care of yourself first. If you don't put that oxygen mask on yourself first, you can't save your kids. You can't save anybody. So you really want to, and that's what I want to go back to relationships. You really got to be 100%.
So true. That's great. Thanks. What is the most important, personal development or the professional development?
Personal development.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. All right. Next. What kind of sound or a voice do you love to listen?
Sound or voice? I was trying to think of a sound or voice.
You live in Maui in the beach.
Here, I got it. The water on the waves.
Water on the beach.
Watching the sunset at night and hearing the waves, just like that, and it's like a cleansing. It's like coming in and out. It's like a
lovely.
It's like breathing, And so when I've been really connecting into nature, it's just like I love that. And also one other noise, because I do a lot of free diving, is right now there's a lot of whales here. Yeah. And when I'm diving, it's like a symphony underneath the water. They're playing their own orchestra. It's beautiful. All the beautiful whale noises. If you haven't heard whale noises before, YouTube it. Whale noises, and you can hear it. They're singing under the water.
I will definitely check out that. Thanks for the advice. Yeah. Okay, next. If you would be born again, I know which you will be at some point. What profession would you like to choose?
Well, you know what? My why, I haven't got to this. So my why is about building this. I did talk a little bit about the retreat. So the big part of that retreat is helping people build out their immortal legacies. So that is what I'm here for. And as long as it helps the planet or the people that are on the planet, that is why I'm here. And so if I was to be born again, I don't know how I could serve more than just helping people make these immortal legacies that help the planet and the people on it. So it would be the same answer. And that's if I for some reason I died without accomplishing that, I'd feel like a failure. No matter how much money or how great my family was and all that stuff, I'd feel like a failure.
Okay, next. What is your favorite book name?
Think Rich. Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill. Yeah, definitely.
That's where it all started.
Yes, that's the first seed.
That's the first seed of this whole personal development stuff. You hear all these guys, Tony Robbins and Emma Led, and all these different people. You ask them one book if that influenced them. Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich.
If you haven't read it, it's all about this thing. Getting this thing, making you money.
Yeah, and I'm also
making you wealthy in all areas of life.
So true. And I'm on a proud honor certified instructor of Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill Foundation, being the first Indian in 1.3 billion and a first Canadian male in 2018. So it's an honor to be the certified instructor from that.
Wow.
Great. That's really a great book.
Yeah.
Oh, next. What you do more of when you are happy? I know you're most of the time happy, but what do you do more of when you're happy?
When I'm the happiest, I'm serving people. I'm like doing the show, interviewing with you, like getting interviewed with you. When I get back to our real estate group, we have a large real estate group and we're all partners. We're all equal. But I'm technically the team leader. I'm the founder of the group. But I love just serving. I love serving. I love helping people with what their problems are. So when I'm giving back and serving and helping others, that is when I am the happiest. Also, my children, when I do have the time to be with them and not worry about anything and everything's good, I really love the time with them.
Serving. I'm on the same page too. That's great. So what do you do? What do you do when you're unhappy?
Well, first off, I address it. I don't bury it.
Okay.
Everybody needs to feel as part of being human and part of our emotions. And so when I was younger, I hid from this. I had a very good friend of mine die, and it was one of my best friends. He lived in our house for a time being when we were teenagers, because he had problems with his parents, and he lived with us, and it was just a best friend. And he died, and I buried it.
Oh no.
I buried it, and I cried. Don't get me wrong, I cried, and I felt bad, for a day or two, and it bothered me, and I always think about it, but I would bury it. And I usually, and so what I found was that, and when I didn't heal until I fully let all the emotions go, and I let myself heal. And whether if it's something that we lose, you can't put a time limit on that. But if it's a business decision, if it's a financial decision, you have to put, do it for whether, no more than 30 minutes. Try to do it in 2 minutes. Get all the anger out, get all the crying out, move on. And then what you do is, you want to look at, habitual things you can do every day to keep you up. So I meditate every day. I exercise every day. If I didn't meditate or exercise every day, I wouldn't have the endorphins, the dopamine, the serotonin, all these drugs that we get released from our brain that are in our own drugstore that we don't need to buy, but we can do by working out and meditating. And the other thing I do right before I go to sleep is I have a gratitude journal, and I write all the things I'm grateful for and thankful for. And I do that first thing in the morning. I do that right at night. And then the other thing I do is I don't watch, action movies or like any of those types of movies, like right before bed. Like, no, don't do that. Like, no, I watch comedy. I watch people laughing and joking, and that's feeding my brain again with drugs. And I want to go to bed all high on my own supply.
No way.
So that's it.
I agree. I agree. Strongly agree with that. That's what I do too before watch comedy too. Okay, we're running out of time, but then now we'll have a few more questions and we will wrap up. So now imagine if you would be the host of the show and I would be the guest of the show. What question would you ask me?
So you know what? We are doing a show. It's called Full Spectrum Wealth, and I would ask each person, what I would look at what their what their gift is and what they're passionate about. So I'm going to leave you with this. If this is one of the last ones.
No, this is the second last one. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to leave you with it, guys. I am all about, I dropped in some little things that you can do to have a better life. What we just talked about. I'm going to give you something right now. It's called the Set for Life Solutions Formula. It's in my book. And there's a 3-step formula. And this is to having anything you want in your life. Okay. They said, if you want to be the best of the best, you want to take notes. Okay. The first thing you need to do is find out what you're passionate about. Okay. Find out what you're passionate about. And if you don't know what that is, now visualize in your head right now. You played the lottery, even if you don't believe in gambling, you did it one time. Someone gave it to you as a birthday gift, whatever. You got this lottery ticket, you check it. And all of a sudden you realize that you just won $50 million. Okay. You have $50 million. What are you doing tomorrow? Are you just taking care of your family and friends? Are you, whatever, forget COVID, you get a private jet, fly around, do whatever you got to do. You're traveling, you're out of here. Are you traveling? Are you looking for, people to help people in third world countries? What are you doing with that money? What are you doing day to day? Maybe it's all selfish stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's collecting cars. Maybe that brings you tons of joy. There's no wrong answer. You don't have to be a Mother Teresa. You don't have to, just do what you want at that point, because what will happen is you'll do that. And most oftentimes is you'll do that and you might be very passionate, but all of a sudden you're like, hey, I might have another passion. And boom, you go into another one. Boom, you go into another one. But there might be one after you do a few of them that you always go back to. Okay, that's probably your main passion. And it could be something that was caused by a trauma in your life. Maybe you lost somebody by cancer and now you want to create a cure for cancer, or help other people, like pharmaceutical companies, whatever it is. There might be, or a natural way, So again, it could be something caused by a trauma, or it could be something they just love to do and you can't stop thinking about it. And every time you do it, it just brings you so much joy. Passion, number one. Number two is your unique gift. Okay. I'll repeat that again. It's your unique gift. It's the one thing that you do that you are just an expert on. And most people don't know what it is. And most people, even if they think they know a little bit about it, they don't allow themselves the credit that they are amazing at that. And if they cultivate that and become really good at that and hone in on that, they could be a master, like, you know, one of the best in the world. Okay. So again, the best way to do this is talk to somebody that knows you very well, that you trust, love, and respect. That isn't going to send you down a path made of coals. You know, like, you want somebody that believes in you, that you trust, that you can talk to, not an energy vampire, somebody that you trust, love, and respect, you know, at least 5 years. Okay. Second person could be within, they might know you for a couple of years. Third person could be somebody you work with. And what you want to do is you want to ask a few of these people. If you have, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that you know with 5 years, do that. A maximum 10 people, you know, altogether, 10 to, you know, around 10 people. Like, if you can get around 3 people a person a year, that's fine. But if you get 5, great. Okay. Ask them, what is the one thing that I'm really good at that you know? And then they might say, oh, you're good at a lot of things. Well, just, if you name a couple, then that's fine. Totally cool. Now, don't tell them what anybody else told you. You just go like this and you record it. And then what you do at the very end is you look at everybody, what they said about you. And then if it was one person was like, wow, you're just such a good communicator. Wow, you're a very good listener. You listen and you just like, when I talk to you, I feel heard. Or like, hey, like, you are like, you know, if I have a problem, I always go to you. You know how to create, you know the solutions, you know, for all these problems. So anyways, whatever that one thing is, that's your unique gift. Okay. So now, one thing, the passion, one thing's your unique gift. The third thing is marketing and monetizing. This is the what I like to call the alchemy. And so the alchemy, if you guys don't know what alchemy means, it came from the medieval times. It's when people were trying to mix different types of materials to make gold. Well, I don't know if they ever came up with that, or they ever found a secret solution for gold. But I do know this: if you mix your passion and your unique gift together, and you market it and monetize it. So whether that is in a TV show, in a book, or in a business, you know, if you're doing all those things together, you are going to be successful, you know, and again, business, you know, you have to get the mentorship. There's a lot to the marketing and monetizing. You have to know how to scale. You have to find that person's already done it. And you know, if you do the business part right, and you're doing it with your passion and your unique gift, and you tie that all in, you're going to make something unbelievable that this world, I believe that's why we're here. We all have something to do. Of course. And if we follow our passion and purpose and we align those things and they're done right, you're going to shine.
Lovely. That's a great advice and question to the world. Lovely. Now, this is last and quick, and we will wrap up now. So what is your favorite word or a quote?
Favorite word or quote? Okay, so I got to give both, man. Come on, now. Come on now.
It's the last one. Okay, you can give me both. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll give you both. So
the last one.
This one, help enough other people get what they want. You can have anything you want in this world. It's one of my favorite quotes, and and I strongly, like, when I first heard it, resonated so much with me. It was after I did the personal development, and it just like, ever since I did that, everything in my life has became so much easier. When I help other people, and it wasn't all about me, it was about them and helping and giving service and value. It always came back tenfold. Not that I did it for that, but I just did. And then the second thing is favorite word. Favorite one word would be limitless.
It's okay.
Limitless. Everybody, we're all limitless. There's the only limits you have are the limits you put on yourself.
Lovely. Lovely. That's great. Well, Chris, this is an honor and pleasure that you've been on a show, and you share your wise wisdom, your thoughts, ideas, and story, which is very inspiring and empowering, especially related to the real estate industry. And I hope all the audience and the real estate people, industry people, have got some golden nuggets from you. And I wish you a grand success. And thanks so much to all the audience who have asked questions and all. And this is honor and privilege. Until next Sunday, we have a special guest. So keep watching the Happy Conversation Idea Show, where you can witness thoughts, ideas, and stories of happiest people. Thanks, Ryan. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to say one last thing, thank you for having me on here. And any of the viewers that are watching this that know realtors that need help, they don't know where they're going, if they want to work, I created this group for young Chris. Because if I had this group, I would have joined it.
Lovely.
You know, and so anybody in the real estate industry, or anybody that wants to talk about real estate investing, contact me. You'll see the links below. You know, God bless you all. And, you know, thanks again, Happy, for having me and what you're doing.
Lovely. Take care. Thank you so much. Take care and enjoy in Maui. We'll visit you soon, sometime soon.
I want to see you coming.
All right. Take care. Thank you. Thanks.